Okay, let's proceed to section 4, which is the recruitment and selection process. Okay, upon approval of these rules and regulation, applicants who are interested in being appointed or assigned to the public elementary or secondary school and other learning centers located in the place where they are bona fide residents may send their written application together with the necessary documents to the school head concerned, who shall verify and certified as to correctness and authenticity of the document submitted, including the proof of the place of residence. It is about the recruitment and selection process where the bona fide residents may submit their application to the school head. Then the school head verify the uncertified with accordance to the authenticity of your documents. The school head is turn shall forward the application to the office of the school division superintendent in your particular division office. And okay, the school head is turn shall forward the application to the office of the school's division superintendent. The division office shall maintain a registry which shall be valid for a period of 1 year. The superintendent shall appoint or assign teachers. The Secretary of Education shall issue guidelines of the hiring of teacher that shall be consistent with the RA 8190 and these implementing rules and regulation. Okay? So after the school had verified and certified your application, then it will there is a schedule for him or her to forward the application to the office of the school division superintendent. So usually they submit. The submission of the application will be during the month of usually January, and the deadline for filing the document will be February. Then after the February, like March until meet the time that there will be a schedule for teaching demonstration or examination. I mean the proficiency test, skill demonstration interview, and other to complete the recruitment and selection process. So that is how the recruitment and selection process happen based on this law. Okay, let's proceed to the section 5, which is protest procedure for violation of RA 8190. Stated that a grave application in the registry of school division may file a protest. The protest, which shall be subscribed and sworn to in the form of a letter complaint in 3 copies, and shall be filed at the regional office within 90 days from the issuance of the appointment. Okay, the regional director shall within 72 hours upon the receipt of the protest require the school division superintendent or SDS to answer the allegation in the protest within 15 days, furnishing the protest a copy thereof. As I said earlier, if you find a discrepancy with regards to the appointing of a teacher's one position to a certain person, then you may file a protest, but this has a due process that we need to follow. So this is the first. You need to submit a letter complaint in 3 copies, and it will be filed up the regional office. Okay, so regional office can be filed within 90 days from the issuance of appointment, or let's say more early than 3 months. So after you're filed your complaint, the regional director he or she will require the SDS to answer the allegation, and they will talk about it within 15 days. So the regional director decision may be appealed to the DepEd secretary within 15 days upon receive. Any appeal on the decision of the secretary shall be filed with the Civil Service Commission. Okay, so after the school division superintendent answer all the allegation about your protest or complaint, then it is the decision to appeal the complaint to the secretary. Then after the secretary then the appeal will be filed in the Civil Service Commission. So, and also there is a due process about your protest, so maybe that it's why there are people who will not perceive their protest anymore legally because of a long process. It will take time, they will take effort and maybe money, because you need to submit it to the region and not only in the division. But if the discrepancy really affect you and to all applicants to or teachers or to the whole division, then I think the best thing to do is really to file a complaint legally. Then of course you need some help. Then you can find anyone who can help you to make your complaint successful and make sure that it will really follow the process, the proper process. So let's go to the section 6, which is the sanction. Okay, any person found guilty of violating any of the provision of RA 8190 and this implementing rules and regulation or any part hereof shall be charged administratively pursuant of the 6713 or the RA 6713, otherwise known as the Code of Conduct and Ethical Standard for Public Officials and Employees, and other relevant laws, rules, and regulation. Administrative sanction for any willful violation of RA 8190 and its implementing rules and regulations shall be imposed as follow. First, first violation, suspension of 1 month without pay. Okay, if an official prove that they have this allegation is true, the first violation will be suspension of 1 month without pay, and second violation is the suspension of 2 months without pay, and third violation and subsequently violation, suspension of 6 months without pay. Okay, so if anyone, so it says there any person, it can be a teacher, it can be the qualified applicant, yet it can be SDS or any person who will be found guilty violating this law shall be charged, and these are the violation that they need to face. The three violation or the three sanction that the person will be uh, receive after proving the allegation. Okay, let's move to section 7, which is separability clause. In this section, stated that should any provision of this IRR be subsequently declared invalid or unconstitutional, the same shall not affect the validity and effectivity of the provision. This means that any section stated in this IRR or any provision that is invalid or will be declared an unconstitutional of the Supreme Court, it will be omitted. It will be deleted from this law or from this act, but the application itself, the law itself shall remain effective with the other provisions. Only that particular provision that will be declared invalid will be only dead, but the rest will stay at what it is, and the law itself will still be effective because of other provision. And let's move to section 8, the what we call the repealing clause. Under by this section, rules, regulation, and issuance which are inconsistent. Okay, let's move on to section 8, the repealing clause. Under by this section, rule, regulation, and issuances which are inconsistent with this rule are hereby repealed, rescinded, or amended accordingly. This part of RA 8190 was already amended because it was first created in year 1996, but it was amended, then it was approved in the year 2012 already. So there are sections in this law that were corrected because probably they were inconsistent with the other rules. So that needs to be amended. Then, okay, section 9, the effectivity stated that these rules and regulations shall take effect 15 days after its publication in official gazette or in at least one newspaper of general circulation. Okay, this is what we first discussed a while ago with a dead end order. So any laws that will public will be published to any newspaper or in any official desert after 15 days that will take effect. So okay, that's all about the RA 8190 or the localization law. Thank you for listening. I hope everybody learn about my report. That's all for today. Thank you for listening and God bless us all.